With Xavier Watts going high in the NFL draft, who are some of the best Nebraska-born guys that did not play for the Huskers?
Don't do this.
Well, Gale Sayers is like the top of the mountain. Larry Station.
Larry Station went to Iowa from Omaha Central.
Like Larry Station is on the Mount Rushmore of Iowa football. Like he's one of the best defensive players in their program history.
Was that Omaha Central?
Omaha Central.
Who else? There's not.
Harrison
Phillips. That was the one I was going to say.
I mean,
Harrison Phillips went to Stanford.
Noah Fant.
Noah Fant went to Iowa. You talk about Danny Woodhead, but he wasn't drafted. So it's like, I mean, he climbed his way up on his
up
own.
there. One Super Bowl.
God, people are going to kill us, Abby, because I'm sure we're not mentioning a few, right?
Oh, yeah.
But those are big ones. Stations
off the cuff. Those are up there.
Guys that went on to have long. I mean, there's definitely guys that went on to have good college careers, but maybe didn't have a pro career. So like that's where you have to separate. We're talking just guys that went into the pros. I mean, there are some guys that had very small pro or college careers that ended up having good pro careers. Like Carl Nix, I mean, at Nebraska hardly did much. And then at one point before he got injured was the highest paid guard in the NFL.
Yeah. Did Station play in the NFL?
I think he did for a little bit.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I mean, he was on the Rose Bowl team.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what he did in the NFL. There you go, Abby.
I'm going to look that up. Larry Station. Hold on. Keep talking.
Yeah.
Don't dump us like this, Sybil.
I can't think
I turned the page on
of any others like that immediately
11th round pick.
Out.
He wasn't highly drafted.
I don't know. I think we got the big ones. And
All
if
God,
we missed
are we
any,
missing
blow us
someone?
up in the comments.
Yeah, blow us up.
I'm sure there's like some high first.
Oh yeah, there's
rounder.
probably some obvious ones. We're gonna look at idiots.
No, we got the
Quarterbacks, any quarterback.
Well, Nathan Enderle from Idaho, from North Platte, was drafted by the Bears.
And he played a little bit in the NFL. He did.
Well, and Easton Stick.
Oh yeah,
Easton
Stick. That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good
both
one.
those guys are pretty good ones.
Yeah,
they both play.
I mean, North Dakota State had a run of Nebraskans that were pretty good that went to the NFL. I mean, there was the guy from Schuyler. Now I'm blanking on his name. I know his high school coach, Fred Dossler. And he was FCS Player of the Year. I mean, he was drafted.
That's a tough off the cuff one, Abby.
All right,
You're pretty good. Okay, if you could add one former Husker to this roster on offense and defense, who would it be? Think of the names of this team.
Come on, I'd say Lawrence Phillips would be a good addition.
Sure.
To the running back room.
Sure.
That'd be the one. I mean, just pick the best, in your opinion,
and like
the best running back.
Leave Sue out of it because Sue's like the no-brainer.
Well, if on defense, can't we pick Sue?
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, that's the one we're all going to pick.
Yeah.
Like, who would you take besides
Levante
Sue?
David.
One of those.
How about Prince Mukamara?
Grant Wistrom coming off the edge was pretty good.
Yeah. How about Aaron Graham? Center's a question right now.
Yeah.
I ran into Grant Wistrom at U-Stop this week. Like he's back
Aaron Graham, I mean, I would probably go Remington or Dominic before Aaron Graham.
It was the first one that came to my head.
Yeah.
What about
You're
Wiegert?
younger.
What about Wiegert?
Wiegert would be good. They're, God dang, all those guys would make a huge difference.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
sort of-
just pick a running back, really. Like, no offense to Emmett Johnson, but like,
Amon,
they had a run.
Mike
Some pretty
Rozier.
darn good ones.
Yeah.
Well,
Calvin
what I'd
Jones
say
or
though
Lake
is
Calvin
that
Jones?
Rex and Amir had much better pro careers than like Lawrence Phillips did.
Well,
Well,
some extenuating circumstances. there.
not a good example there.
But those two guys had now Amon had a good pro career
Yes,
too.
he did.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh
I
yeah.
think he
All-time
retired.
leading rusher for the Packers.
Packers history.
Enough said.
Yeah.
Levante David, I look at his skill set, timeless. Like he would have been an All-American on any Husker team.
Yes.
But you take the big. You take Sue.
Yeah, that's the obvious one.
Sue's the obvious. Like Sue and Levante David are as good or better than any players from the 90s.
Sip, which running back are you picking?
Lawrence.
You looking
It's
Lawrence?
either Rozier or Lawrence Phillips.
We'll pick one.
Then I'm
You're
on
going
Green.
Lawrence?
I would pick Lawrence
Okay.
Phillips. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next question.
What should Butler's top priority be this spring?
Ooh, that's a good question. Secondary play, right?
Third down package.
Okay.
I mean, I felt like Nebraska was
Yes.
the king of like giving up the 3rd and 9.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think their third down percentage was terrible, but it just seemed like
Their 3rd and long percentage was terrible.
Seemed like
Okay.
the higher the magnitude on the third down, the worse they did.
yep.
So it felt like, at least.
It was very frustrating.
Mhm.
And yeah.
I would say
Sean was very frustrated
figuring
against
out
UCLA.
figuring out the pressure. Like, what are you going to have to do and what don't you need to do based on the defensive line? Like, how much of a pressure will you get from your front four D line? And then how are you going to have to supplement that in those third downs? Like, finding that balance of what type of pressures you're going to need and how exotic you need to be to get pressure.
And that's where Phil Snow being involved with Butler, I think, will make a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think that's it. I think it's the ability to get off the field on third down.
All right, Abby, you got another one?
Yeah. Do you see Nebraska and Holgorsen using its tight ends more in 2025?
Yes, I do. I mean, they got one. They got a big time one, in my opinion.
Harburg.
In Harburg, yeah.
I felt like they were using them a lot more at the end when Holgorsen took over. Like, all of a sudden, Fedoni became more involved. Luke Lindenmeyer became more involved. Borkacher.
100.
So, I mean, now you got the big horse
coming off double hip surgery.
Well,
And
what
Carter
they
Nelson.
got now that they maybe lacked a little bit was a guy that can run up the seam and beat people. I mean, just outrun them. Fedoni wasn't that guy. He wasn't going to outrun too many people.
He was misused, though. Like, Fedoni, I don't think any of us would call an elite blocker, but I think laterally he was pretty good. The problem was they tried to use him side to side.
Are you saying vertically he was pretty
vertically? Yeah, vertically he was pretty good. Laterally he was not. And
but he didn't have great speed.
You'll be surprised when he runs at the combine.
Sean
you will be surprised.
is his agent.
Did you see him running at the Senior Bowl? He looked pretty freaking good, to the point where all the negative Nellies got quiet pretty quick.
I'm taking Heinrich in a 40 though.
Oh, Harburg, in terms of miles per hour, was one of the fastest guys on the team.
I'm taking Heinrich up the seam.
Yeah. So we should listen to the weapons we just reeled off there. Like, I hope they use them.
Carter Nelson.
They've got some unique unicorn type players there that need to start using.
If it's just listen, Heinrich, Carter Nelson, Lindenmeyer would be a great three.
Yeah, Lindenmeyer was good down.
Selfishly, I wish they would have recognized the Nelson injury at the 4-game point.
Yeah.
But they thought they probably had plans that they could still use him. That was kind of the rope they had to walk there.
And you don't wonder what Carter probably wanted to play.
Who knows? He'll probably get a 5th year down the road anyway. So
he won't be available in the spring. It'll be big for him in the summer to get back ready to roll.
And maybe he'll gain a little weight. He needs, I think, to add a little bit.
He's going to. Yeah, he will. He
All
has
right,
to.
Final question.
Okay. If you could have any animal as a pet and it be friendly as a golden retriever, what would you pick?
Probably do a tiger or a bear.
Thought this one out.
Well, think about it. Like, how awesome would that be to have like a 600-pound bear just walking around your house
in your side yard?
We had an uninvited pet in our house this week. We had a mouse get loose in our house.
Oh no!
Yeah, you could have a tiger chase it.
Sean, go ahead.
I caught the son of a gun. Though.
This is amazing South Lincoln story. In North Lincoln, mice are not a big deal.
I've never had a mouse in our house, and one that we know of, and I've already caught it.
They're pesky little fellas,
and they're fat. I mean, I felt like Rocky Balboa trying to chase the chicken.
Yeah.
You know, when Mick's training him to get ready for.
You got him though.
Well, I had it cornered, but it got loose. But then I set up 12 traps. I mean,
did any of the traps bear fruit?
Only the one,
just the one
in the garage.
That's all he needed.
Well, maybe that's the thing. If
That's
there's
true.
one,
But usually if there's one,
yeah, come on. You think there's one?
But yeah, that was our uninvited. But we haven't had another trap go off.
So what's your pet?
I like Robin's answer. I mean, I said on the chat a roosters.
What?
Yeah, I've always liked them. Since we had them, I loved when we had chickens and the roosters were mixed in, but they were vicious. If you could just tamp them down, I mean, they were vicious.
So you could just
roosters are
tame
mean.
that sucker.
Well, and the thing you guys don't know about roosters is that
Tell me about roosters.
well, the thing you don't know is that thing they do in the morning, the cockle-doodle do. That's all day. It's not just doesn't stop.
Not just an alarm clock.
No, it would wake me up from naps.
My in-laws own chickens and roosters, and you're right.
Yeah,
the thing they do all the time, and you would want that.
We had them in the city. We were dead in the city, in the middle of the city, and there would be. We lived across the street from a school, and there would be policemen out there. I'd come home at like 3:00 in the afternoon, and there'd be police getting the kids, helping them to their cars and everything, and the rooster just crowing away, and I'd look at the cop, and I'd always think he's gonna bust us, but they never did. And then when we got rid of the roosters, all the neighbors, or not all of them, but a few neighbors came over and said, "Where are they? We miss them."
Yeah.
They didn't mind the sound.
Their alarm clocks are gone.
Well, it's not alarm clock. It's just I think it's a soothing sound, kind of.
People thought you lived in like Tijuana or something. Just having roosters.
Wow.
Of all of
I had a
running around your front yard.
Yeah, a couple trucks. Yeah.
Of all of the options you could have picked, like a rhino or an alligator or an elephant, you picked a rooster.
Multiple roosters.
What was your answer, Sean?
Interesting.
God, I would probably go with like a koala bear.
Sweet.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Cuddly.
Your girls
They're
would
mean
like
though.
that.
So if you tamed one down, then
Are they mean koala
Yeah.
bears?
Are panda bears?
Yeah.
mean?
I don't know.
I mean, not that anyone.
My bear knowledge is.
I know
pretty
polar bears are like the meanest of the mean. Like if you ran into a polar bear,
They're
you're done.
killers.
Is that right?
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Like you.
So I'd go brown bear. I think so.
Yeah, the polar bears drinking those Coke bottles, they wouldn't be very nice.
A brown bear or a polar bear walking around your yard would be interesting if you didn't have to worry about it.
Might need a bigger yard though.
All right. On that note,
Depends.
thank you, Abby.
Thank you.